What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Talks with Chepe. On today's episode, we're going to talk about sports. It's been a long 5 months since they've been gone, and they're finally coming back next week. We're going to touch a little bit about everything, how they're going to deal with the COVID-19 situation, and what we can expect. All right, everybody. So after a long 5 months, we can finally take a deep breath and scream in excitement. Sports are finally back. So next week, baseball comes back first, July 23rd. It's opening day for most teams. Then we got basketball, July 30th, coming you live from Florida. Hockey starts August 1st. And then, of course, we have the NFL season right around the corner. And let's not forget the UFC, Fight Island. Come on, who doesn't love Fight Island? So next week, like I was saying, sports are back. And this is a big thing for a lot of people. Pre-pandemic, this was the go-to for a lot of people to get away from their stress, from their problems, and just get lost for an hour or two behind a game, grab a drink, have a beer, hang out with your friends, order a pizza, have a little party, you name it. That was the escape that most working class people had. And when the pandemic hit, sports closed, seasons got canceled, and we really didn't know what was going to happen, to be honest. We thought that was it, that we weren't going to have a football season. We weren't going to have a baseball season. Basketball was pretty much pointless at this point, not coming back. But we endured as a community, we endured as society, and we're finally getting sports back, which is one of the greatest things to happen in the last couple of months for a lot of people, especially with a lot of people struggling nowadays. I can tell you from personal experience that sports mean everything to me. Uh, for all you who don't know, I immigrated here when I was young, and sports was my way to assimilate with the community and my friends and everyone and get to know people. And it took a big part of my life. And the same thing can be said with a lot of people these days. You know, it's you either start playing sports when you're young, either in Little League and the what do I call that, the football one, Linvent's here. These little things that you start these camps, and it's a big part. And we've seen it come bring people together in the past. Take a look what happened in during 9/11. At that time, football was just starting, it was getting underway, and baseball was in the midst of a playoff run. And it brought New York City together when the Yankees came back to play in the World Series, when the Mets first had that first game in Shea Stadium and the mayor said, "Let's play ball." Who can forget the home run that Mike Piazza had to win that game for the Mets? These memorable things that bring people back together. It's one of those things you can't take away. And I know a lot of people say, "Well, I don't watch sports. Well, I don't care about sports." At some point in your life, the sports have impacted you, whether you played in school, just stay active. It's a big thing. It's what binds people together. And I keep repeating myself with that because I'm trying to get my point across that it's really important that they're coming back. Now, the sports are set up a little bit different. Seasons are shorter. For example, like baseball, we're going to have a 60-game season. The divisions are set up differently also. They're going to be based off on your location now. So, for example, the Yankees now are playing with teams located in the Eastern Seaboard. So instead of usually they have 4 teams in their division, like say the American League, now it's going to be the teams that are around them. So now they'll be playing the Mets, the Red Sox, the Braves, the Rays, and so on, which is a little bit weird in my opinion. It's going to be tough to see how they play realistically now that COVID-19 is uptaking in a lot of these southern states, especially in Florida. They're going to have to travel down to Tampa Bay to play the Rays. How are they going to do that? I know that they're now requiring everybody to test. They're trying to test players as much as possible every 2 days, but even that's not perfect. There's been issues with tests coming back. There were MLB players who said that they were tested and didn't even get their original test back. So they have to figure that out. And I understand the point of trying to get the league started and the season going because it's very little games that they have to play, and it actually gives more excitement to the game now, especially with all the stuff that the MLB's been dealing with people complaining about it being boring. It gives a fresh start, and now every single team has a way into the playoffs. And usually we call these the dog days of the summer. Now it's a race to get to the World Series, which is really exciting to me as a baseball fan. The NBA is a little bit different of a situation. They're getting ready to restart the season where they left off to go into the playoffs. They are playing in what they call their bubble down in the Disney resorts in Orlando, which is a little bit controversial right now because, like I was saying before, COVID-19 is ticking upwards in Florida, and the NBA kind of rushed into it. They didn't really think about the employees that were going to work there. They thought about the NBA players because they're all now staying in a hotel and they're pretty much can't leave the resort. But these workers can go in and out whenever they want. And now they're like, holy shit, there's a hole in my bubble. And that's been the term that's being used around because people can come in and go whenever they want, as in the workers, not the NBA players. So they can easily bring the virus into the facility, which is a concern for a lot of players. LeBron James was, he was concerned about it and said he might not even play. Granted, now he's going to play, but it was a real big concern, and I don't blame him. You don't want to get sick, and then you take that home to your family. You know how upset you would feel if one of your family members got sick and, God forbid they died because you really wanted to play a sport. But hopefully the NBA can figure it out. It's just great to see that they're coming back, and we'll see what happens. Who knows? Maybe they do figure it out, unless, God forbid, like I said, one of the players or coaches gets sick, then at that point, we'll see what happens. Whether they cancel the season. And a lot of players are facing a lot of backlash about not playing. One big example of that's Mike Trout. Mike Trout at first said he wasn't going to play. Now he's the biggest name of baseball. He's getting paid $450 million for 10 years to play this game. Now, at first he wasn't going to play, and people were giving him shit for it because you're getting paid all that money. You better show up and fucking play in the field. But I understand where he's coming from. His wife is about to have a baby. He wants to go see the baby. If he's playing and being exposed to all these people, he doesn't want to get his wife sick. He doesn't want to get his kids sick. So can you really blame somebody for that? I can't. Can you? So we gotta stop looking at it as this point out. These people are just a business. They're actually human beings. So we gotta take that into consideration and go into the season treading lightly. So in case something like that does happen, a player decides not to play, that we don't get upset or we don't, come at their neck. Because the feasibility of the sports actually happening. Looking back a couple of months ago, we didn't think it was going to happen at all. Now we're a week away from it happening. So come on, we gotta come together and really think about it and not go too far with it. And like I was saying, the NBA is in Florida and COVID-19 is going crazy over there. The whole South, really. That's neither here nor there about how they handle the stuff. That's you can take that out with your local government official, but we know what's going on. I mean, California shut down last week. So we'll see how they handle that, especially with the games going on in their home stadiums. And then we can touch about football. Football right now, we don't even know if we're going to have a season. The players are complaining that they didn't even want to play their preseason, which was always a complaint in the past, but they're just using this now as as leverage to not play. So they're going to cut down the preseason to 2 games instead of 4. They might even cut it out altogether. Just today, Philadelphia said that you're not allowed to have fans at the Eagles games. So are we not going to see that throughout the entire NFL? Nothing's been made official by the NFL Players Association, but the state already told them they can't have fans. It's going to be a big thing. If you've ever been to a football game, we all know that the tailgate's one of the most important things in the entire game. Show up, barbecue, you have beers, play some cornhole, fuck around, have a good time. Then you go into the fucking game hammered, and you just watch your favorite team play. So we'll see how they handle that. Are they going to limit the crowd? Maybe have fans in the stadium at 25%, 50% capacity, all 6 feet apart with masks? Who knows? I know that they're going to try to get the players to wear a face guard now. I believe it was Under Armour released a new prototype for the helmet where it protects the face guard from spit and things like that, which doesn't really make sense to me because these fucking guys are already grabbing each other, sweating on each other. So is the face guard really going to make that much of a difference? The NFL came out and said that they're going to ban the jersey swaps. First of all, you're going to tell me that you can play an entire 2-hour game, like I said, touching each other, hitting each other, sweating on each other, and you're okay to go. But as soon as I try to swap my jersey with you, I can't because it's a risk. Come on. What the fuck is that? Don't be stupid. Are you stupid or dumb? So we'll see how that goes. And then especially with these championships, the MLB is only going to be 60 games. The NBA is about to start their playoff season again. Do you consider these guys as the champion if they decide to win? The great Pat McAfee calls it the COVID Cup all the time because he's right. Yeah, you can have a player who wasn't able to play months ago start playing again and get healthy. Who's to say that LeBron James could have been hurt in March? He took all this time to get healed, and now he can come back and help the Lakers win the NBA Finals. Same thing with MLB. Aaron Judge could have been hurt or Mike Trout hurt months ago, and now they got healthy and they can come back and help their team win. So it's a little bit different. We'll see how it goes, how people actually take it. I mean, we've played shortened seasons in the past. You had the hockey strike, you had the MLB strike back in '94. They still played, so we'll see how it goes. Do I think that they're going to be the champion? Yes, because you still had to put the grind in, you still had to play, and it gave a little bit more excitement to the game. So we'll see how that goes, but maybe they can do it right. I mean, take the UFC, for example. The UFC was the first sport to come back, and they've been doing a great job ever since. Dana White has Fight Island out in Saudi Arabia. We've seen the last 2 UFC pay-per-views come from out there, and they've been great showings. Nobody's gotten sick while at Fight Island. I know we had a little bit of the last fighter in the last UFC, Masvidal, came over and filled in for him in 6 days. Still put on a great show. And we're still able to see high value content come out of these, sporting events. So we'll see how people go about it. Maybe we can use the UFC as a platform to, go forward with everything. Who knows? I think we can have a great job. I just want to get back to the stadiums, to be honest with you. There's nothing like going to an MLB game, NFL game. And if you haven't, it's an experience that you have to do. There's nothing like it. I'm telling you. But we also got to keep in mind COVID-19 is still out there. So with that being said, that's my take on the sports and everything that's going on right now. To give everybody an update on the challenge, I will be announcing the winner this Friday, July 17th. I will be making a posting on my Instagram. For all of you who participated, I really do appreciate it. I love you all. Love all my fans. If you want to be a part of the Chepe family, you can follow me on Instagram at Talks with Chepe. You can follow me on Twitter at The Real Don Chepe. You can find me on YouTube with Talks with Chepe. And let's have some fun with it. I do put up polls on my stories if you want to, give me any suggestions, any feedback. And I'm open, I'm here to listen to you guys. I do this for you. I don't do it for me. I talk all day at work. I don't want to keep hearing myself talking, but I do it for you guys. So any feedback's great. I love you all. And in the comment sections on my YouTube channel, Instagram, when I make the posting of everything, let me know what you guys think about sports. Do you think that they should be coming back? Did we do it the right way? Are we doing it the wrong way? We'll see. Only time can tell. A week from now, we'll be talking about sports. So grab your bats, grab your gloves, grab your football. Most importantly, grab your beer. Let's have some fun, everybody. Until next time, later.